Hi everyone, welcome to Simplilearn. Today we will learn how to use Power Query for automating the mundane task of data cleaning and transformation for data analytics. For that, let's consider a small problem statement, or in other words, a use case. So here it goes. Let's assume that you're a business analyst working with top banking firms. The banking systems generate performance numbers across multiple states and regions and intend to grow. They found out loans can also be a key performance area that can be tapped out to grow better. They hire you to help them out filter out a couple of loan applications that were held pending or rejected despite the applicant having a good background. Due to repetitive manual data cleaning, report structuring, and calculations, the process was taking several days, delaying the decision making. Bankers struggle with errors and inconsistencies due to high data complexity. Now, you being a business analyst with the right skills can help bankers by performing and automating the process of application background check and risk detection. Now you can quickly jump into the Power Query, generate some data transformation steps to fulfill the requirements for present and for the future simply by automating the process that drastically reduces the manual effort. As a result, report generation time drops by more than 50% and reports and dashboards are more insightful, and bankers also receive an actionable insights faster. That said, if these are the type of videos you'd like to watch, then hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to get notified. Just for a quick info, if you want to upskill, master data science and data analytics job, and land your dream job or grow in your career, then you must explore Simplilearn's cohort of various data science and data analytics programs. Simplilearn offers various certifications and postgraduate programs in collaboration with some of the world's leading universities like Caltech, Purdue, IIT Kanpur, and many more. Through our courses, you will gain knowledge and work-ready expertise in skills like advanced Excel, Python, machine learning, data visualization, generative AI, and over a dozen others. That's not all. You also get the opportunity to work on multiple projects and learn from industry experts working in top-tier data and product companies, and also academicians from top universities. After completing these courses, thousands of learners have transitioned into a data science or data analytics role as a fresher, or moved on to a higher paying job and profile. If you are passionate about making your career in this field, then make sure to check out the links in the pinned comment and description box below to find a data science or data analytics program that fits your experience and areas of interest. Now, without further delay, let's get started. So, what exactly is Power Query? Power Query is a Microsoft tool that helps users extract, load, and transform the data. Power Query is a Microsoft tool that helps users to extract, clean, transform, and load data. It's built into Excel and other Microsoft products like Power BI and can be used for the following. Firstly, connect. Import the data from a variety of sources like CSV, cloud services, or locally. Second step is clean and transform. Shape the data to meet specific needs while keeping the original source intact. Followed by that, we have the next stage, which is either combine or directly load. So if you have data in different sources, like a part of the data in CSV and another part of the data in cloud, then you can integrate the data from multiple sources to create a unique view. Just imagine if you have all the data in one source, let's say a CSV file, then you can directly clean and transform and proceed with loading the data to an analytics platform like Tableau or Power BI. And then the last part is transferring this clean data to a data visualization platform like Tableau or Power BI, or anything that the end user is dependent on. Now, the stages of all this process, starting from data collection to data visualization, there are multiple stages, out of which this part where you clean the data, you transform the data, and you transfer it is the most prominent one and the most time-consuming one. Now, if I tell you there is a tool which can help you do this, and again, if there is a possibility to automate the whole process of cleaning the data, transferring or transforming the data, and then transferring the data to the end user, just by a few couple of clicks. Would you believe it? That's what Power Query is designed for. So using Power Query, you can just drag and drop your data on the Power BI or Power Query platform, because the Power Query is similar to Excel as well as Power BI. So you just load the data and then you explain Power Query what you are planning to do. For example, splitting the data into first name, last name, or adding some mathematical calculations to understand what is the risk number, and if you want to calculate some interest ratios or overall due, right? If you wanted to do such things or filter out a couple of things to eliminate null values, there are n number of possibilities. We're just scratching the surface, right? And if you just help Power BI to understand your plans, then it will sequentially make those steps aligned, and whenever you give fresh data to it, it'll just perform all those tasks for you within just a couple of clicks, saving you tons and loads of time, which you can invest in planning and strategizing the next step of yours to increase your business potential. Now, to understand it in a much better way, let's quickly switch to Power Query and present some demonstrations for a better learning experience. For now, we are on Excel. So this will be our sample data. This is completely created using generative AI, and we also have created a prompt for that. So we will be including customer name, ID, email, phone number, and all the required columns that usually a banking sector follows. Now, what are we supposed to do is, you have a plan. You're supposed to find out there are a couple of people with very good background, having less number of credits and no bankruptcies and good CIBIL score or credit score, and they have applied for a loan, which can be a personal loan or a car loan or a home loan. So we also have a couple of loans here, loan type, if it is secured, unsecured, and different types of interest for different types of loans, everything, their total income and their total due if they take up a loan, right? You need to sort out those applicants who have very good background, very good credit score, and they are no risk for providing a loan. So there are certain number of situations in which a bank might not provide you a loan for certain reasons. And overall, during the timeline, a couple of reasons due to which the bank has selected not to approve a loan might disappear. Maybe an existing loan can be a reason. And over the time, he might have cleared that existing loan or improvised his credit score. And you have a good opportunity for now for approving his candidature. Or maybe some other reasons due to which lack of funds in the bank. Let's imagine it might not be a real situation, but due to such situations, let's imagine due to such situations, even if the candidate was really good and we or a bank cannot provide him that particular loan amount, right? Now, if the bank situation is really good and ready to provide loans, they want to identify which were those candidates who were trying to apply for a loan in their bank, and if there is a chance to contact them back and let them know that we are now ready to approve your loan. So this is the overall problem statement, and now we're supposed to run this a couple of queries and filter out a couple of data and fetch those candidate details. Now you can say that this could be a really easy task, but let me remind you, this data has almost more than 4,000 to 5,000 applicants, in which a couple of loans are already approved and a couple of loans are already, rejected or in pending zone. And you can just filter out to give me a loan or details of the guys whose status is rejected or pending, right? But again, a couple of people might go with unsecured loans and a couple of people might go with secured, but their credit score could be low, right? There are multiple possibilities. Now, this could be a little more challenging for bankers. So this is the time when they take the help of data analysts. You being a data analyst should help them do this couple of steps and give them the filter data. Now, if this data is on a monthly basis, you could do that once in a month, maybe. And if this is, let's talk about a week, right? Maybe you can do it on a weekly basis. Now, if this particular data is on a daily basis, because you're running about 4 to 5 banks, you are a business analyst for 4 to 5 banks. 4 to 5 banks might have joint venture to hire you to give them the data on a daily basis. Would you end up doing this mundane task for multiple times, that could be a lot of time consuming task, right? So what you might do, or what you might prefer to do, is try to automate it. So this is where you take help of Power Query. Now let's close this data set, and let's create a new sheet and run some steps using Power Query, register those steps, and next time you just add new data to that particular folder or that particular file and run some steps, and you get the new data, updated data. Now let's continue. Now we are on a new sheet. So what you do is go to the data pad or data ribbon here, and here you have the option of dragging and dropping data from various set of resources. It can be from a file, it can be from a database or cloud, it can be from a Power Platform or any other resources, can be a PDF, web, right? There are multiple options you can go with. Power Query is ready to extract data from anything and everything which is considered as data, as long as it has tabular elements, rows and columns, right? For now, our data is in a file. So we would be going with this particular folder option. Why folder option again? Because the new data files will be added to this particular folder. So I'll go with folder. My folder resides in downloads, and in downloads, I have named my folder as bank data AI generated, and inside this we have some data. Just open, it is getting connected, and now you get a preview. Now if you are happy with your data, you can just proceed with the load, but I want to do some transformations. So I'll go with the transformation option, which enables you to the Power Query window. And here, just click on this expand button and you can find the preview of the data you're looking at. Select the sheet. This is your preview. Select OK. There you go. You have your data preview. And this is where the applied steps get registered. Now you can see a preview of your data set. Here you have the source name, and after that you have the column names, customer name, customer ID, and everything else, just like a bank data that looks alike. Now I don't want this particular A column and just delete it. What you can do is just simply remove, and there is a new step got registered, and followed by that check for a couple of more details. Here you have income, credit score, bank name, loan principal amount, loan amount, and everything else. Now let's go back to our initial stage. Let's say you are working with a couple of banks, and those couple of banks, or let's say are selected in or located in the region East, West, and Central. Now you want to filter out those. Filter out East, Central, and West regions alone. Press OK. And the filtered step is also present there. And loan status. Loan status should not be null or approved. It should be only pending and rejected ones. Press OK for that. And after that, you want to check if the candidate has any bankruptcies or not. So select only the ones with no bankruptcy history so that you are secure on that particular front. And again, here you don't want null options here, because you might be wondering, you might just end up wondering if he has multiple other credits or not. So for safer side, we don't want null elements, and we don't want more than 2 other loans. So if the candidate is having 1 or 2 loans, he might have a feasible commitment to close his loan in the earliest way possible with no risks. That's my next filter. And interest rates. So let's say your bank people told you that we cannot take any more risks. I don't want to give up any unsecured loans. So I just want secured loans. If he or she is ready to provide some security deposit to get that loan, then it's well enough. So fine. So far so good. Your data is done. And again, in this particular segment, you don't want missing emails or missing numbers, right? You do end up missing a good chance to contact them, right? Even in phone numbers, just check if there are any nulls. So far so good. And your data is almost filtered, and you have all the states in the region of West, East, and Central. And let's say this is good enough. And again, if you want to eliminate any risk possible for this particular loan approval task that all the banks have given you, then you can proceed with a simple calculation called as LTI. So this stands for loan to income ratio, right? So what's the amount of income that a person is getting, and what's the amount of loan that he's looking for? So there is a particular number, a whole number. So if the ratio is anything equal to or below than 4.5 or 5, banks consider it to be a very good score. And if it is beyond the 5, they might think it might be a little risky, and they might think of negotiating, or they might think of talking through the customer and understanding what are his income basis and what are his plans to repay, right? So you might want to give them a purely filtered list. So let's give them that. So for that, you just select the last column or any column that you go with. So I want to go with the last column, and I want to add a conditional column. And this conditional column, okay, before considering to proceed with a conditional column, let's add a normal column, a mathematical calculation column, a custom column. Here you can write the formula as LTI, which would be equal to, open a bracket, loan amount, no, yeah, income. You will go with income divided by loan amount. So select this particular column, add okay, it's not supposed to be here. LTI would be the name, and here you'll be writing down the formula, divided by income per annum divided by loan's principal amount. What is the amount of loan he is focusing on getting, star or into 100. So this is the formula. Now just insert this column and you'll be getting some ratios. Or I think they might be a little, okay, it already took the percentage number because we multiply into 100. So if there is a risk of 45% or below that, then the banks will directly approve it. Now you can give it a data type, change the data type, to maybe, okay, so far so good. We can keep it as a number. Got it. Eliminate this step. Change type to maybe, let's keep it as a decimal number itself. If we kind of transform it into a percentage, so here you can see 27.28, right? It will be turned into 2728.28. So we don't want such a huge number. Let's keep it as a decimal number for now. Now let's add the conditional column that we were initially talking about. So we will now here approval, rename it as maybe risk assessment, and here we will be selecting the column, and the column we will be selecting is, let's go to a little top so that we can see the column, LTI equals or less than or equal to 45% or 45, then save. If not, negotiable or risky. And it's now the bank's call if they can feel like going ahead and negotiate the terms with the candidate or deem it risky and leave it, right? You've done your job with perfection. So here you got all the numbers, so you can just go with the safer candidates so that it's already a well-filtered option for the banks. And now you get all the required details. You can just export it and save it. So for that, go to Home, Close and Load. So there you go. Now you got a filtered data, right? So you might be still having a question. This has been done for the current part. What if I want, okay, there is another thing. Yeah. What if the another part is, what if I wanted to go with the candidates which are fresh applicants? So this was the old data, right? Now let's go back to the query once. I think we missed something important. We missed the credit score, right? So let's also add a credit score. We will filter out. We will have another column, which will be a conditional column again. And now this conditional column will be named as check credit score. And now we will give the credit score numbers. Here we'll select the credit score column. Yeah, here's the credit score. And ideally, if the credit score is above 739, it's something around that number. If it is equal to or greater than 730 or 739, then it's a very good call. Give it as 739. Proceed. Else, thinkable. There you go, you've done it. So here again, you can proceed with a filter which says you only the option about how to proceed or just proceed with the numbers, right? So here you have a completely filtered list. Now just save and close and load. Now you have a filtered list of data. Just refresh it. Okay, that could be some error with null values, but not a problem. Go back to the query once so that you have a better idea what exactly went wrong. Check the null values that we filtered out. It can be a database error due to data type. Yeah, I guess we did with email, right? So this is the problem. Okay, not a problem here. List may be incomplete. Not a problem. Maybe this is the reason why it came up. So far so good. You can just, just refresh the preview and it's done. And now just close and load. Now we would have a filtered data. Now you might be wondering if this can be replicated if I have a new, kind of new data set. Maybe this is an old data set. And if I load the new data set from the current year, just the previous year, can I do this correctly? Yes, you can. You just have to go to home and firstly we'll save it. And then, okay, let's save it as filtered data. Excel workbook, fine. And what you can do is, you can just make some changes to your source data. Here on the same downloads window, we have a new data here, which is new data. You just have to drag and drop it to the section where we have bankdata.ai and go to the Excel sheet that we had made. And all you need to do is just go to the data and refresh. Ignore the null values. Now the new data has been added to this particular data set and new generated list is also ready for you to proceed with the calls and get the loans approved. And that brings us to the end of the session on automation using Power Query. And if you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require the dataset or any other sources that are being used in this session, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below and our team of experts will be happy to resolve all your queries at the earliest. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.